seems like a different squad now.
Yeah, I think it's definitely good to see some resilience. I don't think that was something that we had early in the year, but at the same time, like, we can't have quarters where we dig ourselves holes. Obviously, that was our problem versus Minnesota, and the team was really going to push you away when you do that. So I think there's definitely a positive from it, but at the same time, like, it's not something that we can, get used to. You can't dig yourself a hole like that, get down 16, and then hope our offense can save us. So I think defensively improved, get back to how we started the second half with really good defense. And then I think our offense has always been pretty consistent, minus one quarter versus Minnesota. And once we're able to put the two together, I think we're pretty good.
When you talk about resilience, especially considering you guys came from, how did that build, I guess, from Monday?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably what I'm most proud of. Is like we start 1-8, and that really stings. But nobody ever quit. Like we came in here every single day and continued to work. And we knew we had a hard schedule to start. We had a young group. But at the same time, I thought there was a few games even within that time we went 1-8 where we could have easily won as well. We just weren't executing. We weren't really on the same page. We weren't playing the same way that we are now. So I'm proud of our group. Like we just continued to work and get better and be positive. That's probably easy with a young group. Like obviously we got the young players, but our vets were really good too. Like Kels and Edub, just keeping us motivated and being there for us. So honestly, just proud of us.
A new player like Kelsey Gray, how would you describe her impact on the game, as well as on the point guard position as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, obviously one of the best point guards in our league, one of the best point guards to play. I think she just sees everything before it happens. One of the best passers. She demands so much attention that she's going to put the ball in little windows that other people can't see. Like, and that's a thing that can't really be taught. It's just something that comes with IQ of playing basketball for a really long time. So it puts your defense in a tough position when she's throwing no-look passes, behind-the-back passes, and if it's the person guarding her can't see, the person that's guarding their post players can't see. So I think her passing is definitely what sets her apart, and just the way their team relies on her to kind of orchestrate everything. You can tell they're just more comfortable with her out there on the floor. So I think that's what makes her so good.
I want to talk about pace with this team. Is there such a thing as too fast?
No. I like fast.
How much have you been looking forward to hosting Kate for this week, basically?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely fun for us. It's fun for a lot of fans in the Midwest that, cheered us on when we were in college. I don't know, it's cool, like, getting to see one of your best friends live out her dream and then play against each other. But at the same time, it's definitely pretty weird for the two of us. Like, we were teammates for 4 years. We got very used to that, and now going against each other, you love it, you joke about it, but like at the same time, takes some getting used to. So I know a lot of our coaches will be here on Wednesday night, so it's like a fun thing for all of them to be able to get to do too, and sharing that memory and that joy with us. But I'm just super proud of her and happy for her, and she's one of the hardest workers, a great teammate, great leader, one of the best teammates I've ever had. So it's fun getting to watch her have some success.
You mentioned the tough start from the scheduling and how difficult that was. Are there lessons that you guys can take away from that now that you're on the other side of it and you've punched your ticket to the postseason?
I mean, I think just like I said earlier, resilience. Like, not every day is going to be perfect. I think we found a way to battle when things don't go our way. Like I said earlier in the year, like you get down 15, for us that ballooned to 30. Earlier in the year, you saw that multiple times. But I think now we can really nail down and focus on areas where we have to improve within the game, stop the bleeding, and be able to respond. I think that's an area that we really had to grow. But at the same time, I still feel like there's so many areas we can continue to grow in. And that's what honestly excites me. Like, I still feel like we can be so much better. I feel like our last 2 games haven't been exactly to the standard that we would want them to be in. So I think having these couple days, rather than just a day of prep, having a day where you can come in and practice hard and get ready and get prepared for 2 really tough games in a row, I think is good for us.
Last one.
Kaylin, you grew up watching the league. You're now a rookie in the league. Las Vegas comes to town Wednesday. What are your thoughts to the numbers that A'ja Wilson has been putting up this season?
Yeah, she's pretty incredible. I mean, you watch her and it's unguardable. There's nothing anybody can do to stop it. Like, she's just that dominant, whether it's her mid-range game, she can put it on the floor. She's just so athletic, but also she affects the game on both ends. Like, she's a really good defensive player, great rim protector, just so athletic, and obviously she's been able to shoot the 3 pretty well this year too. So it's fun to watch. Like I said, everybody in the league knows you can't guard it. You basically just live with what she's going to do to you every single night. It's just you contain it as best you can, and she's going to are really tough. And like I said, like it's going to be a tall task to contain multiple people. You just hope to contain it the best you can.
Team has after what you've been able to do on Sunday. That's crazy quick.
Yeah, we have a lot of confidence in ourselves. I think just the way we play, just the way we compete night in, night out, we just know that no matter what, like we're going to give it our all. And I think when we're able to play our game, when we play fast, when we get stops, when we let that fuel our offense, I mean, we're a whole different team.
What's the approach for the next 4 games as you make a push?
Yeah, definitely to win, to come out strong. I think just being able to have these games, the next 3 at home, is going to be really important for us. I think it's been a great homestand so far. Just make sure we come out. We need to have some better starts, especially that first quarter, especially the third quarter. Just make sure we're coming out, we're competing.
Did this team need a game like that from Sunday, just that kind of a test this late in the season?
I think so, but I also think that we could have prevented that a little bit more, just the way that we came out, the way that we guarded a little bit, make sure we get a little bit more stops. I mean, when you look at the box score and they took almost 15 to 20 more shots than us, like when you play a great team, that's hard to come back from. And so just make sure that we see that, be able to clean that up for our next few games.
This team showing the ability to come back, though. It wasn't there maybe the first part of the season. How was that growing?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you see it the first part of the season. I mean, when we were down, we were down. And it's just as simple as that. But now we're down. We talk about what exactly we need to do, whether that's clean up our offensive rebounds or clean up getting stops or making sure we're passing the ball more. Like, that's stuff that we able to talk about and we're able to clean that up.
We've seen more of your game offensively, it seems, the last couple of weeks. What are you feeling here in this stretch? It just seems to open it up.
I mean, I'm just taking what the defense gives me, just making sure I'm dominating each and every time. Even that doesn't mean taking a shot, but just making the right pass. I think I'm just trying to make sure that I'm just very aware of what I have to do on the court.
Even coming and run this offense, it seems the passing has become contagious almost. The ball just moves everywhere, every 5 on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, when the pace that we play at, I think that's a big reason why. I mean, we're playing fast, so making sure that we find the next person open and making that one more. I think even in practice, we work on one more, making that extra pass, good to great. And so we do that in games and we get wide open shots.
In what ways has all this run of home games been helpful for you guys?
It's been great just to fuel us. I mean, if we were on the road down 16, we would not be hearing the crowd cheer us back into this. And so for us, it's just making sure that we, one, give our fans a great show, we're competing, and then we know that we have one more game that's going to be on the road, and we just have to be prepared for that.
Last year,
You talked a lot about the resilience of this group, considering the starter you guys have on. So where do you think that resilience come from, I guess, collectively or even just individually?
I mean, a big part of that came from the beginning of the season, like coming into the locker room, being 1-8, starting the season the way we did. Like our mindset was always we never stay down. Even if we get knocked down, we never stay down. And I think even in games, you're able to see that, us turn the page, us play our type of basketball, and we just flow.
last year you guys struggled so much in close games. What's been important in flipping that this year?
Execution, especially in that fourth quarter. I even think some games this season we've had that we kind of just gave it away in that fourth quarter, and just being able to grow from that. Understand that execution is a big part, especially when you're going up against great teams, making sure that you can execute, because when they come down on the other end, that's their goal as well.
Is there a confidence element to that? You get a few under your belt and you're like, okay, we can do this?
Yeah, and I think just having the team that we have around us, I mean, everyone feels confident to take that shot because we know that they're going to make it. They're going to, we trust each other to make that shot, and I think that's a big part of it as well.
Pace with this team. Is there such a thing as too fast? Do you have to kind of find a sweet spot?
I mean, maybe sometimes, as long as we're taking care of the ball. If we're not taking care of the ball, obviously we know we might have to slow it down a little bit. But I mean, we like to play fast. And sometimes, yes, stuff happens without when there's a turnover, but we know that's the pace we like to play at. And I think just our progress throughout this whole season, we've seen that playing as fast as we do, it works for us.
Aliyah, this season, you guys broke the home attendance record. So for somebody that didn't watch last season and only started watching this season, what's been the difference playing in this building from last year to now this year?
I think just the continued just crowd that we have. I mean, they come no matter what time the game is, early game, late game. I mean, they're there, and I think that's great for us because we use that energy, we feel for that, and it's always great to have those fans in the crowd.
Do you need a game like that on Sunday to just kind of say, hey, we can do this in this fashion this late in the season?
Yeah, I think it's just, our start wasn't great. Our defense picked up in the third and fourth quarter, which was the difference. But just to grind out a win like that was huge for our young team.
What piece about where you guys came from at the beginning of the season? When did you feel like the identity of this team started to crystallize, and was it looking back to it just a difficult one because there's so many moments?
Yeah, there's a board down in our film room, and you see all the losses at the beginning, and then you see, all the wins with losses peppered. I think we only, after that first bad run, I think we've only had 2 losses in a row, and after that we've been able to get a win. that was a hard time. And I don't know if there's a time where, I know it kept getting better the more time we had with each other through those games. But of course, the Olympic break where we were able to get some rest and then also get some really good practice and just build that team camaraderie was huge.
Did you feel it during the break? Like you could start to sense that?
Yeah, just when they started just relaxing around each other and just having fun with each other, and the more talking they do outside of basketball, it makes it for more talking on the court and just being comfortable with each other and having fun. And that's what they were doing during the break, working hard and having fun. And I really think that was a huge thing for us.
Is Empty the Tank the theme to finishing the season?
This is just what we expect these guys to do. Empty the tank daily. Don't leave anything out there. If you do, you can't ever get it back. You can't get this date back ever. And why waste any time?
Last year, you talked about it, the clutch struggles you guys had. What to you has been key about turning it around this year and being better in those moments?
Just experience and having players that are on both ends. Defensively, it was a real problem for us getting those stops late. We did that in the fourth quarter and then in overtime. And then offensively, we executed late. I mean, AB had a great fourth quarter. Caitlin, got us into what we needed to. Just stay poised and relaxed and executed.
Did you change your late game execution or thinking at all between seasons, or has it just been execution?
It's really just that. Being in those moments, those pressure moments, and being able to have the poise to finish those games. That's really what it is.
What do you like about these 2-game series that kind of gives you a playoff feel a week ahead of time?
Yeah, that was kind of part of my build-up for this week. At first, it was just, this is a playoff situation. We're going to play the same team twice. But then just wanted to and then I just thought about it like, we just want to keep doing what we've been doing. Just getting ready for the next game, the next day. Not talk about this being a series. Just do what we have to do to take care of tomorrow.
Does this feel like a semester exam almost, kind of the progress, see where we are heading into this final week?
Yeah, I mean, Vegas is one of the top teams in the league, and they're going to be a huge challenge for us. Just see where we are against them. We had them early on a back-to-back, and so they didn't get our best either. So now where we are, we're just a totally different team than we were back then.
Got 2 more.
As somebody who's been preaching defense from the beginning, kind of losing your voice about it, now they're really showing that. How proud are you as a coach who was really hired to bring that in?
Yeah, just, the fact that they're buying into it. I mean, we have some great offensive players. I mean, our shooting percentage, the points we're putting up, I mean, they are very, very gifted offensive players. And just for them to buy in more, Cassie Mitchell has bought into the defensive side of the floor, and she's really, her teammates have kind of just taken that from her as well, because she's really like, guys, she's always talking about, for us to advance, it's about getting stops.
You guys broke the home attendance this season, all time. So for somebody that just started watching the Fever this season, how would you kind of describe the difference between last year in this building and now this year?
Yeah, I mean, just in the game in general, the WBA in general, and where the attendance is. I mean, it's just night and day. I mean, the atmosphere is incredible. Sellout crowds every night, including, the preseason games. I mean, it's just been like that from day one for us. So it's just kind of, I think that's another way that we're preparing for the playoffs and what that's going to feel like.